It's like half real, half not. Woo! Here we go. I really need to change my loofah out because it's gross.
Keep it moving. Welcome back to my channel. My name's Mandy, and this is my little corner of the internet. It's quaint, it's cozy, and it's a bit chaotic, but we make it work. As I said in my first video of 2023, I've got some hefty goals. I'm gonna put out music this year. It's been a long time, and the catalog of songs that I previously recorded have been sealed away, shut, vaulted, except for maybe the exception of like 4 songs that were free download back in like the MySpace days. Other than that, my records never saw the light of day, and I had to let them go, which is okay, you know, but it's time. It's time this year. And that means that there's a lot of work to do. I have a few songs that I know I'd like to roll out this year. In fact, I told one of my friends, Drew, that I had a plan to try and release 3 singles this year. And he goes, that's ambitious. Who knows? Maybe I'll end up just putting out 2, but for sure the one that I'm working to wrap up now, I'm hoping to have out very soon in the next few months. So I've got to be diligent. But let's talk more about songwriting, shall we? I know for me, there are times where I can be super diligent and like keep on top of songwriting on a regular basis. And then there's these other times where my brain just feels like it's doing backflips on a wheel and it's not really going anywhere. Anybody else? This year, I'm going back to some artist development tools that are actually really helpful. And I'm going to implement these challenges and tasks that I've set for myself just, you know, to keep it moving. So these things that I'm mentioning are actually, it's sort of like a video diary for me to be like, hello, Mandy, stay on top of this stuff, okay? But I figured I'd share them because I know for a fact that they work, and I know that they work even better if you do them on a regular basis. I'm sorry if you can hear my dog ticking around in the background. This is just what happens. Every time I speak into a microphone, she's like, "Ooh, what's going on?" And she has to tick, 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 tick around the room. So if you're somebody who experiences this as well, who knows? Maybe this will help. Or if you're just, you know, super curious like I am when I drive around at Christmas time and just really want to see what's going on inside of people's homes and how they decorate it. Dang, Susan, your living room looks amazing! In a non-creepy way. It's not creepy, I swear. I'm genuinely interested. So if you want to see the process on how a lot of artists you listen to utilize these tools and resources in order to keep up their gusto, because songs don't write themselves, well, now we have AI, so it's kind of cheating. Here's what they are. Number 1, get out of your head. Get out of my head. Get out of your head. It's not silly to construct a song. I'm going to say that again. It's not silly to construct a song, whether it's a shitty song or an amazing song, okay? Either way, it's a song, and the process is not dumb. So stop thinking that it is, and like, just get out of your own way. Simple. Not simple, but not simple. But you get what I'm saying. Okay. Number 2, lean on that record button on your phone in your voice memos app. Record a quick voice note whenever any idea comes to mind. Anything. In fact, here's a voice note that I did, one of many, in the middle of a restaurant bathroom. Roll the tape. I would do this all the time. I've done this in an airplane bathroom, in a restaurant bathroom, at my shitty day jobs in the past because I hated them and all I could think about was writing songs, in hotel rooms, walking my dogs, in the middle of the night sleeping. It could go on and on and on. I just always know that you can press that button if you have inspiration, if you're in the car, if you're in traffic, if you're whatever, just stop, hit the button, record what you need to do, and then move on. Just trust me. Number 3, keep notes next to your bed. I haven't done this in a while because I haven't, so I'm doing it again. Keeping notes next to my bed. So if an idea comes up at any point during the night, I write them down, or like I said, I'll get up and get my voice memos app and I will hum the quick melody or whatever lyric I'm thinking. Hopefully I don't wake up my husband, but that's the plan. But maybe keep your phone in another room because like REM cycle is glorious, and putting your phone next to your head all the time at night is questionable. Number 4, this is what I like to call hello brain exercise. So how it works, in the mornings, you're going to take those notes or your phone or whatever you use to jot down your ideas or record your ideas, right? And you're going to brain dump them immediately. So brain dumping is something that a lot of people have talked about. This was a big thing years ago, and it's still quite the trend today for many people in those like trendy morning routine videos. I picked up this little ditty while doing artist development, reading the book The Artist's Way in like the early 2000s as part of that artist development. And I'll leave a picture of the book with the author's name as well. I'll insert a clip here. So basically, you're going to dump on the page, if you haven't heard of this. If you have, great. But for those of you who haven't, you're going to dump on the page whatever's on your mind or not on your mind in that moment. So this includes any thoughts or feelings. And there are no right or wrong answers to this, okay? None. This just gets your brain moving. Think of it like your dogs or animals. If you're a dog person, okay, I get it. I love you. If you're a cat person, I don't know you, but dog, cat, whatever, chinchilla, whatever you live with, just what it needs immediately in the morning. So like food. Think of it like giving your dogs food in the morning, okay? As soon as you're up, they want all the things. They want the toys. They want to go outside. They want to be loved. They just want your attention. And that is a lot to handle in 0.2 seconds upon opening your eyes. Your brain is going to try to engage in the exact same way. So you got to get ahead of it and give it the attention that it needs so that it can get all of that pent up brain energy out on the page. And this is very important. You want to get ahead of this and do this first thing in the morning, like immediately before any limiting beliefs get into your head and ruin your day.
Oh no. You are the absolute worst. You are the absolute worst.
So rude. Anyway, back to the things. Number 5. So you've done the brain dump. Now here's the second exercise that I am going to be doing. We'll call it open observation. And it looks like this. Before you put your feet on the ground, do this songwriting exercise. You're going to set a timer. Set it for at least 2 minutes. Try to shoot for 5 if you're not in a rush, but either way, just set your timer for a small amount of time. And here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna take any object, pick any object in the room, make it the first thing that your mind allows you to zero in on. Describe this object or thing or person or whatever you see in annoyingly great detail. I'm talking color, texture, sounds, tastes, disruptions while observing this object or thing or person or animal or whatever. Jot down the feeling that it gives you. Jot down the emotion where your brain might be taking you in that moment while you're reflecting on it. Who knows? Your closet door could open the portal to a memory of playing hot lava with your best friend as a kid, and then all of a sudden you're remembering how great it was to be a kid and how fun and innocent it was and how wide-eyed you were and just how much you miss those old days. And boom, now you got something. Now you're in it. This is great to do before you start your day, before your feet ever hit the floor, because it allows your brain to snap to like the rubber band that it is. So I'm going to encourage myself to do this several times a day, not just before I put my feet on the floor in the morning, but also maybe during a lunch break or while I'm in the shower. With that being said, now that we've done the brain dump and said a whole lot of things and written a ton of details about this object or thing that we see or are thinking about, then I'm going to do this challenge, and I encourage you to do this too. Figure out a way to say less, to get the exact same message across. So ask yourself, how can I express what I've just said in all of this great detail in a much more simple, concise way? How can this message reach more people? Does it have to be so specific to me? Can I open this up so that other people can interpret these lyrics in their own way, or this paragraph of words and explanations in their own way? Do you see what I'm saying? A lot of times writers like to write so specifically to them, and there is a definite place for that, but it really helps the listener and the audience when they can take that song and know that it can become part of their story as well. And they can grow with it. They can grow up with it. That can change over time. And that song will always hold meaning to them. So that's something that I like to think about in the back of my head when I'm trying to kind of put together a message of what I'm writing in a more concise, simple way. And this also will help so much in being able to adapt yourself later. See my bonus tip at the end for this. Number 6. We've moved on to number 6. Here we are. Get outside. And I'm so talking to myself. Get outside for at least 5 to 10 minutes or change up my atmosphere. Change up your atmosphere at least, girl. Come on. You have been in the same room for like 7.5 hours and you've peed like once and you've had no water. Girl. Also, exercise, physically exercise, help move your body and connect your mind to the rest of you. A lot of people experience writer's block or they don't know how to get started simply because they're just out of whack and disconnected from themselves or some kind of like area of their life. I know that when I make a mind-body connection, it's a total game changer. So try that as well. Also, part B. I don't even know if D is a thing. I think I'm just making shit up. If you're stuck in a moment, this is another tip. It's part of number 6, I guess. I don't even know what number we're on. Interact with anyone. Talk to a person. Talk to a human. Make a quick phone call, chat with a friend, and you do this so that you can open up your experience for the day. You know, if you're struggling to pull anything out of that conversation, sit down, reflect on the experience of the conversation after you've had it. Give yourself a few minutes to do that. Okay, moving on. Number 7, I love this one. Set some time up to get with creative people, to get with another creative person who does what you do or what you want to do. Big deal. There's a lot of creative people out there. It's great to just be in the presence of creative people, but it's even more great. It's greater. It's the greatest to be in the presence of people who are like in your lane or around your lane or the lane you want to get into. They're on the off ramp. Bounce ideas off of them. Ask them questions. Show them your stuff. Take constructive criticism well. I'm going to say that one again. Take constructive criticism well. And remain open to letting things pass by. And this is going to come back kind of at the end, but that's important. Just remain open. Remain open, because when people get together that are creative, you're pulling out the strengths of both parties. And that's the magic and the brilliance of getting together and having that collaborative effort. So that's definitely something to prioritize. Number 8. Set a dedicated time of day. This is a blocked off set of time. Use your timer. And then this is slightly different. You're going to free write while playing with melody lines. And with this, let this be free flowing. Let this be judgment and pressure free. And obviously, like if you've ever done this before, it's going to be all over the place, just so you know that. But just spend some time sing-songing, if you have a certain, like I think mine is usually like da da da, something like that. I'm talking like absolute gibberish. Da 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 la 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 oh da 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 da. No words, just you're playing with melodies, and that's a complicated melody, but you get what I'm saying. Just speak gibberish and don't laugh at yourself. Laugh at yourself, but like don't be embarrassed. This is how it's done. Own it. If you're making good progress with your melody lines and your gibberish, great. Maybe you're already writing. That's awesome. That's going to bring us to number 9. Number 9, I like a lot, and it's interesting because you can do so much with this. So we all love when a good chord like resolves itself, right? Anybody see that clip from The Office with Andy in the elevator where he's like getting a headache because the chord progression didn't resolve?
Sherman blinds and rugs, sweet 202.
Well, same goes for when our ears hear a really good rhyme. And there are so many different ways that songwriters write. Some songwriters don't rhyme. They're more like poets. They don't feel the need to be constrained to rhymes. But like most listeners, most mainstream songs have that good rhyme. The message is built within this awesome rhyme or this awesome way of saying something. And you're like, that's why it sticks so well, right? So when we hear a good rhyme, and a lot of us gravitate to that kind of like traditional songwriting with those rhymes, it does something. It just hits differently. In this video, we're not going to talk much about music at all. We're just going to kind of focus on words. So here's another thing to try. After having some fun kind of playing around with rhyming and words in the traditional sense of maybe words rhyming together as the last word of the phrase, we can try utilizing some off rhymes or rhymes that come together in a totally different way. Maybe not ending right in the end of the phrase. Maybe it's a rhyme within a phrase, or if we're feeling really fancy, like a syncopation within a phrase that ties the rhyme together. Or think of assonance. That's another thing. Assonance. Okay, we're moving on to number 10. This one I like to call the trickle, but I got to say something before we get to the trickle. In this part of the songwriting challenge that I'm going to be doing again for myself is, and I say this to myself and I say this to you, know your schedule, know your priority, and know your commitment level. And then please, please, please meet yourself where you are. Meet yourself where you are and start there. And I also really want to say this too. I think this is really important. Don't worry if you don't play an instrument or have music to write to. I really feel like that holds a lot of people back from writing songs. And I'm giving you permission to let that shit go, because a song is a process. It's a process, and expecting all of the elements to come together in one fell swoop with a complete composition of music and production. It's just setting your sweet, sweet little brain up for overload, exhaustion, and Total disappointment. So like release the pressure valve and just write the words and maybe settle on a melody line that you like or whatever ideas come up naturally. So here's how I'm going to do the trickle. I'm going to get my timer out. Let's get your timer out. And this might start out as just a monthly thing, then maybe a weekly thing, then maybe a daily thing. But we're going to try to work up to writing an entire song within this set amount of time. Once you feel good in that set amount of time, we're going to change the amount of time. We're going to lessen the amount of time. And I already know this. It won't feel easy in the beginning. It's not going to come together right away. So just be kind to yourself and start small. So maybe set the goal to write and construct just a chorus. Then keep applying the skills to combine and maybe add a verse and a chorus. Then you're going to do the same thing. Add and apply and repeat until you are writing a complete song or as much as you can like productively get done in that set amount of time, in that least amount of time. Does that make sense? So maybe just start with a really broad, give yourself a time when you've got a lot of time, when you don't want to really set a timer or have to be like, your brain doesn't want to be bound by it. So start with a longer amount of time, 2 hours. Sit down and see if you can write a chorus in 2 hours. You might be able to do that lickety split, no problem. Or that might take some time. It might go over 3 hours. Who cares? Then if you get there, so we're in the 2 hour mark, we've written the chorus. Now try to write a verse and a chorus in 2 hours the next time, and then keep constructing the song in that amount of time until you've completed the song in 2 hours. Then challenge yourself to go down to 1 hour. So we're going to do the same thing. In 1 hour, I'm going to write a chorus. Then the next time, in 1 hour, I'm going to write a chorus and a verse. And then see how far you can actually challenge yourself. And then keep going down. 45 minutes, write a song. 30 minutes, write a song. 25 minutes, 20 minutes, then 15, then 10. Yeah, I know. 10 seems like it's nuts. And I mean, yeah, it is. It's very challenging. But at the same time, some of the best songs out there were framed out in under 20 minutes. And that is just magical and insane, but more magical than insane, you know? Eventually, you can build and construct the framework of a song beyond the lyrics, beyond the melody. So we can add an instrumentation, we can get into a digital audio workstation, collaborate with a musician friend to help you lay some music. And if this isn't your sphere, cool, I'm going to step in front of this right away. There are a ton of options. If you're just not like music savvy, if you're not tech savvy, if you just know that you are a really great lyricist or you're a really great top liner and you really want to be an asset and collaborate with other people, do it. Talk to a musical friend. You don't have any, you don't know any, talk to a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. Network, connect with them, get to know them. Maybe they can help you lay a part down. Maybe they've got a really great guitar line for you. Maybe somebody's going to lay some drums for you. Whatever it is, utilize them. And if you don't have any of those people, because I know that happens, I know for a solid year, I have been trying to find a regular guitar player to play out with me for shows. And it has been difficult.
Oh my God, this is why it helps to have musical friends.
So if I need to get some work done, another option is to consult the interwebs. Utilize freelance musicians who put their services out there. Or you can pull a royalty-free track off of the internet. You can find a ton of these out there. Just make sure you read and understand how to use them legally and if there are any kind of licenses attached. So we're approaching the end here. Here are my bonus tips, my most helpful tips. And I've gotten a lot better about this first one. Do not, I repeat, do not marry yourself to the lyrics, to the melody, to the song structure, specific instrument, none of it. None, okay? Be open. This is by far the biggest and most best, that didn't even make sense, the biggest and best thing that I can tell you that will help you to just become a more confident and better songwriter. Just be free like a frisbee. Just really, honestly, truly. It'll save you headaches. It'll save you heartaches. And it'll make you mighty adaptable. And my second bonus tip, it's also good. Okay, it's good to yes, let it go. But don't delete it or get rid of it by any means. Like, don't delete the idea itself. Keep it. Keep them. Because you can look back on them and for lots of reasons. To track your growth, which is a big one, you might be able to reinvent one or become totally re-inspired that old stuff that now becomes new, exciting stuff because you're in a totally different headspace. And then it's like a treasure chest of ideas and you're like, ooh, okay, you were going through something, but I like it. But this is good. And at the very least, you can have a good laugh because like, it's good to laugh sometimes. even if it's at yourself. And this is the last thing I'm going to say. And you need to know this going in. Like, you need to accept this.
Accept that.
Some days, in fact, most days, it's not gonna be great. Like, you won't get anything great out of it, okay? It's gonna suck. It's gonna suck a lot. The point of all of this is to get your brain moving, to be thinking outside of the box and running through some sort of emotional backlog that it's already doing, and then like catching it and pulling something out of it and giving it life. I hope this helps. If you liked the video, please hit the like button below and comment if you've had any of these tips, or if you're going to start implementing some of these tips, or if you have any extra tips, and let me know how it goes. I think it's valuable to share and grow together. And please consider subscribing. It really helps out the channel. Until next time, don't try to kill yourself to try and be perfect. Find freedom in letting the shit go and have some freaking fun in the process. Okay, bye.
Oh, look at the makeup on my face. Look at the page. Oh my God, I gotta get new makeup. Okay, anyway.
No, tell me more about your fake life, because you're a fake neighbor. Assonance.